Patriots are in the Super Bowl again. You want tickets. Don't have Tom Brady or Bill Belichick's personal information? Don't worry about it. Perfect way for you to get tickets. Matt Light. This is the guy you turn to. You have tickets for everybody, right?
We do. You know, it's amazing, right? We get to this moment, and it should be, you know, not something that you're like, oh, we're doing this again. But for some people, it's like, man, we're doing it again. It's crazy. And we do these raffles every time. And you think about, you know, how much it does for, you know, just anybody that wins these things. And for me, that's the best part. I get to meet the winners and get to have fun seeing how they're blown away at this opportunity. And this one's cool. Teamed up with Gronk, which is always fun. And we're going to have some awesome videos we're going to release soon. And Steve DiFilippo from Davio's, and we're going to have a package that includes airfare, your hotel. You know, you're going to get the 2 tickets to the Super Bowl and a whole bunch more parties and everything else that you'd want. And
right, so wait a minute. A little bit more about this. You got a full ticket to the game, place to flight back and forth there, right? And Davio's, the Matt Light Foundation, and Gronk are all teamed up. So how do people do this? Where do they go? And where does the money go?
So gronkraffle.com is where you go to get your tickets. They're $1 a piece, so you can get them for yourself, get them for friends, splash them around, get crazy. The proceeds is the coolest part. Gronk loves the Boston Children's Hospital, has done a lot over the years, so his portion will go there. Of course, Steve DiFilippo and the Taste of the NFL and all the work that he's done over the years for the Greater Boston Food Bank, his money will go there. And then for us in the Light Foundation, our programming. So, you know, look, if you don't win, you're doing something incredible, and we're very thankful. So
gronkraffle.com, $1 a piece for raffle tickets for all this? Can I buy as many tickets as I want?
As many as you want, man.
Really?
And we kicked it off, you know, and we're going to be pulling this winner on the Friday before the Super Bowl, so it'll be a quick turnaround. So if you haven't gotten your tickets all the way up until the game day, and you're sitting there on Friday saying, man, I really wish I could go, you know, you have up until then at 2 p.m., and then we're going to have them on the plane flights first thing Saturday morning.
So it's been a long time now since you've been playing. You've been out for many Super Bowls now. How are the Super Bowls different for you now?
You know, it took a while to get to the point where I was, you know, really kind of re-engaging with the game of football. Everybody has this little curve, this little roller coaster. You leave the game of football. Some guys are just like watching it every second. I didn't do a whole lot in the football realm for a while, but now it's a different story. And I will say this, that this season in particular has been very unique, and the postseason has been really cool to watch because I feel like we're going back to that 01, 03, 04, where it's a very physical, you know, running game, you know, mixing and matching with different personnel groups, having guys, you know, do things that, you know, are really asking a lot of them, like a Gronkowski in the run game, blocking, downfield, just blowing people up in the wham game, you know, taking a guy like – the guys don't want to do that are in his position. He does. I love the old school nature. I love what this team represents right now, and it's going to be fun to watch.
The win in Kansas City, clearly a top 5 win in franchise history. I don't know how you ever slice it. Anybody does. But let me ask you this. Were you surprised that they won in Kansas City? Now, before you answer, I know you're not surprised by anything that Brady does anymore. None of us are. I know you're not surprised that a Bill Belichick coach team can do that. But, boy, that was an unbelievable win, wasn't it?
It was a huge win. I mean, if you get to an AFC championship game, and I've won them on the road, right? I mean, going into Pittsburgh.
But they haven't for a long time.
And they haven't been in that situation. But, you know, look, the recipe was laid out in that divisional game. When I sat up here in this stadium and I watched those guys methodically move the ball down the field, you know, drive after drive after drive, and do it in a fashion that was truly reminiscent of the old days.
Against the Chargers, you mean?
Yeah. You know, but the way in which they did that, it's very difficult to play a physical football game in today's realm, right? Since the 2011 CBA, and I could go on for days about, you know, my thoughts about the game and how it's being played, how it's being, you know, coached, and really how it's being reffed, right? I mean, the game is different. But when you go back to old school tactics where you hit people in the mouth and you wear them down play after play after play, and you can put these drives together, man, it sends a clear message, and it's demoralizing. If you think about that game, 15 plays roughly in the very first series. They go right down the field. They score. They eat up 7-9 minutes. I don't know what the exact details are, but if you're that other team and you get on the sideline, where do you start? Right? There's a lot of things we got to fix.
And the crowd all of a sudden is sitting down too.
And that's hard to do in any stadium, definitely in Arrowhead. So, that's the game plan that I love to watch, and I think that it's going to make this game really interesting. Look, they're going to mix it up a little bit. It's not going to be exactly what we saw the last, couple of games, but that is the recipe.
All right, final two questions. One is a prediction for the game of how it's going to go, and I would imagine you're going to focus on the offensive line, and rightfully so. Brady just put out an Instagram post with no stains on his shirt, giving credit to his offensive line, and a game on grass in the AFC Championship game. But that defensive line is legit. Got the Defensive Player of the Year in Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. What's the key to this game? How's this game going to play out?
Well, look, it's going to be a lot of what you've seen in the last few games, like I said. I think some of the keys to this are going to be centered around, what are going to be some of the things that they do in the running game that'll be dialed up a little bit differently, out of formations, and how are they going to start it out, right? I think there's for me, I love it as an offensive lineman when we do some quick throws or we do a little bit of easy outside zone kind of plays, but, will they take a chance and try to, do some kind of play action and make a throw down the field to kind of switch it up? I mean, how will they start this game, and how do they neutralize some of those guys? And the best way to neutralize, the Ndamukong Suh and Darnold, that caliber of player, is to have a great run game. So, not unlike what you've seen, they had to go out there and they had to execute. They got to make it all happen. It's a big stage, but they're built for it right now. I love what they're doing. I love how they're, Josh is calling these plays. Defensively, look, just keep spinning the dial. I mean, I don't know what to think about this defense. There's days where it's frustrating. There's other times where you just think, man, these guys are playing as good as they can play right now. And they've obviously really, dialed things in here lately. And, so, look, for me, the keys of the game are just go out there and do what you've been doing offensively, defensively. Let's have some fun and bring that same energy and excitement to these games, because these have been fun ones to watch. Watching them has been fun.
And finally, how much fun was it to watch Gronk, the way he played? And you probably know this, and you're not going to answer it, but is this going to be his last football game in the Super Bowl?
I don't know that it would be his last football game.
His last NFL game as a Patriot.
Yeah, no, I think, the sky's the limit for him. I mean, he can continue to do what he's doing and be a great asset to, any group that he's on the field with. But, I think as a former offensive lineman, seeing that you have a teammate and knowing, the caliber of an offensive line that they have and the work that Dante's put in, and, having Brown come in and be such just a massive force. And, I love what Andrews represents. Cannon on the other side, that's a human that is just massive, right? And so, knowing everything I know about it, I think about him as another offensive lineman, and just know that, how do you get a better fit than that? The guy is all world, right? I mean, I told people when I retired that I came back for my 11th season to play with Gronk. I said that from the very beginning. You want to play with guys like that again. Watching those guys the last couple of weeks and how much fun they're having on the field sends a real clear message. When they're having fun like that, good things are going to happen. So let's see it.
All right, Butch Stearns and Matt Light here in Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, GronkRaffle.com. Why should people go buy tickets?
Because you want to go to the game, and it's a great way to get there. And it doesn't cost you anything but maybe a few bucks. So, yeah, let's have some fun.
And you're helping out 3 different great causes. Check it out.